Now, plastic-free living is often marketed as a premium lifestyle, but those who suffer the most from plastic pollution are often the least able to afford sustainable alternatives, such as glass jars, sleek metal straws and pricey eco-brands. Despite consuming less plastic, a WWF-commissioned report found low-income countries incur a total lifetime plastic costs that is 10 times higher than wealthier countries. CEO at Smartfill, Nevo Hadas, joins us for more. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Perhaps we should just start off to getting an understanding on what the impacts of plastic pollution are as we look to the role that plastic plays in our day-to-day lives.
Good evening, Incur. Yeah, so plastic pollution is both an environmental climate issue and also potentially a health long-term issue. So microplastics obviously come out of all the small plastic packets and plastic containers that are left in the sea or in dumping sites, and as they kind of corrode over time and they form smaller and smaller plastics which then penetrate into the earth. So that kind of microplastic is now found everywhere with very, very high volumes in everything from food types to water. It's been found in placentas. So we're seeing a lot of plastic kind of penetrating human bodies, animal bodies, and we don't actually know the long-term impacts of that yet. That hasn't really come out. It's kind of a new thing. And then finally, the second one, from a climate point of view, obviously, as it kind of breaks down, it emits gases which contribute to global warming and climate change.
What about being plastic free? That in itself also comes with its own breakdown, doesn't it?
So yeah, so being plastic free really focuses around reusing containers as much as possible, so reducing the amount of plastic that we are utilizing. Our focus is very much on the food ecosystem, so we focus on flexible plastics, which are the packets that you'll see rice and maybe maize and the basics that people consume come in, and that's really our focus. But there's obviously other plastic containers and things like that, which also make a big difference in plastic, in kind of becoming plastic free. And the key thing is really, how do you replace those packets that we're so used to that are part of our day-to-day consumption with a different format of buying things in the shops with and then taking them home and storing them inside our homes. Those are really the critical components that we look at from plastic free.
So what barriers do access do lower income communities face, and the economic and environmental burdens this now creates?
So I think there's twofold. I think firstly, there's been a global trend of selling things in smaller and smaller packages to people, especially low income groups, because they have affordability challenges. So the solution that large manufacturers have come up with is things like sachets, which have multi-layer plastics, which actually never degrade and, kind of don't break down and don't even have much value. And we produce enough of them at the moment to cover the entire surface of the earth every year of these sachets. So, for example, in countries like Bangladesh, where we're working with Unilever, they're trying to replace the sachets which are used for shampoos and soaps, and trying to do that with a refill model where people bring a bottle back and reuse that same bottle over and over again to fill up with their shampoos instead of buying these small containers. So that's just one way where you see it. So it's this reduction in size of products that consumers buy, which get into smaller plastic packages, which really has a devastating impact on those societies and communities.
And what have those refill trials in the globe revealed as we look at the South African market in comparison?
So I think it's actually, South Africa's got a lot of exciting refill projects going on. We're funny enough one of the hotspots, especially around low income communities. And what we've really seen is that the problem isn't with consumer adoption. If you can deliver the product at the right price to customers, they very quickly adopt refilling and reusing the same containers, because you can see the benefit of doing that. And this isn't just a South African phenomenon. As I said, we've got a lot of great technology here. So South Africa, I think, is leading the field in many of the technologies that are available. But also in Kenya, for example, there are what they call ATMs. So there's milk ATMs and oil ATMs, which people regularly reutilize to purchase their products with. And instead of buying it in a packet or a bottle, they're just reutilizing and refilling their same containers.
So with that, of course, also comes another question in people's minds. I mean, using and reusing a plastic container has been linked to certain cancer-related illnesses and so forth. What kind of plastics should one be able to reuse without the fear at the back of their minds?
So very good point. So I think obviously people should be utilizing kind of food safe plastics. And the safest bet, and this is what we've seen most consumers do, especially for liquids, is they will utilize something like a water bottle, like, you know, one of those clear water bottles that you'll buy from the store and you'll have water in initially. Those will often come back. The other one is to use things that you've used that have been purchased with food in before. So ice cream tins are kind of a standard, you know, butter kind of containers, those kind of things. So if it's been stored, if you bought it in the shop with food, it's safe to use it for food again. And also if you used water in it, it's safe to use it again.
Very well. Thank you so much for talking to us this evening. CEO of Smartful, Nevo Hadas, there talking to us about plastic-free living.